Hey guys, it's Lori. I don't usually make this many videos, but like I told you, I feel like I'm being called to talk about this stuff, to talk about the dark side. I got kind of a couple stories I want to tell you tonight just to explain a little bit of what I'm talking about as far as certain people that are born into this world almost under attack. I think I had mentioned this before. We're all born into this world with gifts, each and every one of us. And some people are just born in at a higher vibration, and some will call them like the indigo children. And there's another one I can't remember now, but it's supposed to be even beyond that. I'm not sure if that's what it is. I don't like to buy into any kind of labeling like that. I really don't. I just know that there's good, there's evil. We're supposed to be going along a certain path for God. Eternity is real. I know the afterlife is real. I know that we're here to grow, we're here to learn. We learn through relationship, we have all kinds of lessons. And I know that there are some of us that are here not better than others, but to do certain, I guess, I don't know, certain spiritual positions, I guess, and we may never know what they are. Um, but it's like we're here to do them. And the closer you are to God, any of us, the more you're going to be under attack. But there are some people that seem to be under attack even in the womb. And then from there, it goes on throughout their whole life. I was just listening to a guy today talking about living in a RV, and he's on disability, and he has only so much money per month. And he started to spread the word to certain people, and all of a sudden, he goes to go to the doctor or get some prescription or something which he needs. He's a disabled vet, and they're telling him that his medicine's not paid for. He calls up to find out why and finds out that his disability's been canceled without reason. And then he gets in his car to go somewhere and breaks down on the side of the road. And this is a typical day in somebody that's under attack all the time. So these are the things that they can do with finances and with just life circumstances. And then other things they can do is they can affect your health, they can affect your family. And then there's those that are shown almost like demonic dreams, or um, they deal with demonic forces. And this depends. I help a lot of people to clear their homes and to clear their themselves. If they're frightened, if they feel like they're under attack, I help a lot of people. So I deal with a lot of this stuff regularly, and sometimes I can tell when I'm either under attack because I'm doing something that scares them, or if maybe something's connected to me and I've brought it home. I can tell, and they're different. Like if you brought something home, all of a sudden there might be family strife that's not normal. Like if you never fight and all of a sudden your kids are yelling and screaming at you, or the kids are out of control, or you've got this anger inside of you, and there's no real reason for this. There could be something that's attached itself to you. Under attack, same kind of thing. They can try to destroy your family. They can try to destroy your finances. They can go after your health. And I know some people think this is crazy, and I'm not saying every time something like this happens, like you can't pay a bill, that it's demonic, or I know that stuff happens here in this world. But if you're going through a bizarre series of events and there's things that happen one after the other, and they seem to be bizarre, like this guy's disability just getting shut off for no reason at all, nobody can tell you what happened. Or the car breaks down and there's nothing wrong with the car, or you go to use your credit card and it won't work anywhere, but that there's plenty of available finances or funds on there, those kinds of things. And then there's other things like sleep paralysis. People suffer from nightmares or sleep paralysis. And I realize that sleep paralysis is a physical thing, that our brain paralyzes our body while we're sleeping so that we don't act out our dreams. I get that. But why do these creatures show up? I know that some people will say, well, it's only a figment of your imagination, but they seem to be the same creatures from people of totally different walks of life. You've got a lawyer or a doctor over here. You've got somebody that's a total non-believer over here. You've got somebody that's absolutely superstitious over here. And then you've got, all these different walks of life, and they're all getting the same thing. Same kind of creatures, So I don't believe that that's a figment of your imagination. If it's a figment of your imagination, you're going to go with what you know or what you believe, So why is an atheist seeing something when he doesn't even believe that God exists, never mind the devil, Or why is somebody that believes in maybe Buddha seeing something to do with Jesus? You know what I mean? So I don't believe that it's a figment of your imagination. I believe it's real. And I wanted to tell you a couple different experiences I had, and then I'll continue. I'll make a series of videos in demonology and demon experiences, I guess. And I'll even find a couple different people that I can interview and tell you their experiences too. But I'll start with mine, a couple of them. And I've had many, so I'm just picking out a couple, and I'll tell you more. Maybe I'll tell you one of mine each time I do one of these videos. So I used to live in this apartment, and several different things happened in this apartment, but two specific things that I want to talk about. And this apartment, I have lived in quote unquote haunted houses several times. Even when I was married way back when, we had a really haunted house when the kids were little. I'll tell you about that maybe some other time. But the one that I wanted to tell you about today was I lived in this apartment, and at the time, my youngest son lived with me, but he wasn't always there. He had some issues, and he actually was on life support. And then he was living in this home for several months, and he would come home occasionally, but for the most part, he lived there. And so I had in this apartment, I had one bedroom that I shared with him. I slept in there when he wasn't home, and when he was home, I had a bed in the back in the laundry room, and I would sleep back there. But when he wasn't home, I used it as my bedroom. So a couple different things happened in that bedroom. A lot of things happened in that house, like I said, but these two really kind of stuck out. And I've had even experiences as far back as when I was a child. I've always been plagued. I swear that the negative energy, Satan, whatever, the demons tried to get me in utero. They couldn't do that. Then I was born I was in an incubator for a long time. They didn't think I was going to make it. As a child, there was all kinds of abuse that I'm not going to get into right now. So it's as if I've been followed, attacked, stalked all my life. So I'm not sure. I think there was something in this apartment. I don't think it was just me that it was targeting, but it certainly didn't want me in there. And actually, it came down to the landlord getting really crazy, and we actually laughed. But he wasn't like that, so at least he wasn't in the beginning. So I really think that whatever energy this was had an effect on him. But that's besides the point. We didn't need to be there anyway. It was something was in that place. But so the first thing that happened, we used to have lights flicker off and on, and, stuff like that. But this was, one day I was napping. I think I had a headache, and I was napping because I know it was during the day. And I decided to do a manifestation to meet your angels. It was just something off YouTube. So I'm laying there. I've never done this since because of this, but I'm laying there, and I'm into the meditation, and the meditation was basically saying something like, relax and see your angels or whatever. And what I had seen was my massage table was out, which it really wasn't, but in my mind's eye, it looked like it was out in the room next to me. And I was laying on the massage table. And I'm not really good at visualizing, but I was visualizing this really well. It seemed like it was really real. And I wasn't asleep, so it wasn't a dream that I was meditating. So anyway, I envision my massage table. I'm on the massage table, and there's 3 people doing energy work on me. And then when in the meditation, the person said, now look to your right and see your angel. I looked over, which is really weird. I looked over from the bed to the massage table that I was laying on, and two of the people that were laying hands on me kept their head down. But the third one, the one that was closest to me, it was a short woman, short and very thin, and she had her head down, touching me, touching the body that was on the massage table, which was me. And her hair was kind of in her face like that, and she had her head down. And when the voice said, "Now look to your right and meet your angel," I looked over at the massage table, and that woman put her head up and looked over at me, and very slowly, like, looked over at me. And she had demon teeth, like sharp teeth, like all sharp teeth, and like demonic eyes that were all red, and like a really ugly face. And I immediately came out of the meditation, sat up, and called on Jesus Christ, and she disappeared. So, like I said, I never did that meditation or any like it since then. I don't think my angels are demons. I either the meditation wasn't a good one, or whatever was in the house tried to scare me. Well, I don't scare that easily. I don't think these things knew yet what they were dealing with. But they must have known something, because they really wanted me out of that home. So then, not too long later, I don't know if it was a couple days later, if it was maybe a month later or something, I'm in that room again, and I was actually sleeping. I don't recall if it was nighttime or if I was napping, or I'm not sure. Because during that time I wasn't feeling real well, so there were sometimes days when I was napping quite a bit. I don't normally nap that much, although this sounds like it. I was asleep. I was truly asleep, and I was awakened by something on my chest. I could feel somebody like sitting on my chest, and it was really, it didn't feel like I was having a heart attack. It felt like somebody was holding me down, to the point where I really thought somebody was in there. I opened my eyes, I tried to move, and I couldn't move. I couldn't physically see anybody, but I couldn't move. I could open my eyes, but I couldn't speak. So I couldn't speak and I couldn't move. So I'm just laying there. I'm laying there paralyzed. I can't even move my arms up and down. I'm just laying there paralyzed. And I could hear somebody like dragging on the floor, like dragging. And it was weird, because the way this apartment was set up, so there was a door over here in that bedroom that led to my living room, and then there was a door over here in that bedroom that led out to the front hall. There was no hall in between the front hall and that door, but the way that I was envisioning things in my head, I was seeing like a hall in between, like the back door, and I don't know, but I wasn't asleep, I was awake. And then there was, in reality, a hall that went down to where I would sleep when my son was home, down where the laundry room was and everything. And I had a couch down there. It was like a whole little setup down there. And I could hear this person like dragging and dragging up that hall. And I couldn't move. And I could feel how dark it was. Like I knew, like that sense of whenever whatever that is gets here, I'm in trouble, that kind of thing. So I'm struggling to move and I can't. I'm struggling to scream and I can't. And I can hear my son and his girlfriend in the next room. I know they're there, but I can't scream to them. I can't call to them. I can't even say, of course I wanted to say Jesus. I can't say anything. And I felt like I was losing my breath. It was really frightening, but I just deep breathed. I said Jesus in my mind, and I said, I'm not backing down. This is my house. So the dragging kept going and kept going and kept going. So as the dragging, I'm hearing it closer and closer and closer. I'm getting, my heart's racing, and I'm saying all these prayers in my head, but I'm starting to get a little freaked out. I know it's coming to me. Next thing I know, the door opens up. Now this door couldn't have opened up because it was locked. It was the door to the front hall, but it opened up, and in came this woman again. A small woman, very thin, brown hair, in a ponytail. But she was on her belly, and she was like pulling herself like with one arm like this. Like, have you ever seen a baby do that? They like pull themselves, dragging. Like, some babies don't crawl, they pull themselves. Well, that's what she was doing. She was like pulling herself with one arm and dragging along the floor, and you could tell that it was hard for her to drag. She was dragging it. It was taking all her strength and like pulling herself along. And she got to into the room. She opened the door and she got into the room, but she didn't come closer to me. Like, she got her whole body in, and she laid there on the floor. And in my mind I said, "You get out of my house in the name of Jesus." And she looked up at me. So she's got her head down, and she's like got her arm out like that. So she's on the ground like that. And she looks up at me like this. And she's evil. Like the same thing as that other one. She's evil. She's evil. And she didn't say anything. She just stared at me, but I could telepathically hear, "You need to get out of here. This is ours, not yours." And I said, "In the name of Jesus, leave now." And she seemed to be getting weak and mad, like she wanted to fight me, but she couldn't. And then she just kind of dissipated. She just dissipated right in front of my eyes. It took, I don't know, it felt like an eternity, but maybe another 30 seconds before I could move. And then I could move. Obviously, I got up, I prayed, and I cleansed the room. Those are two of the things that happened in that apartment. Later, within a month, I didn't live there long. I only lived there probably 3 or 4 months. And the landlord went all of a sudden just out of his mind. He started talking crazy, started coming over and saying crazy things. I don't even know what the heck he was talking about. It didn't make sense. So I ended up moving out of there. But like I said, there was like some shrines downstairs. We lived like on the first floor, but he had like a basement apartment, and he had like shrines in there, and he had like weird stuff. So who knows what was in there. Those are two of my experiences. Like I said, I'm going to make some more videos with some other people that have had some experiences with spirit. I'm going to interview them. And on each one, I think I'll start with something that's happened to me, because I have had a lot of these negative experiences. But you can always, always, always cleanse from any kind of demonic activity. As long as you can call on Jesus, but if you don't believe in Jesus, it's not going to do you any good. So get to know Jesus, because he's the name that everyone must bow to one day, including the demons. All right, God bless you guys. If you have an experience with demonic energy or anything, and you want to write to me and tell me about it, I'd love to hear it. And I'd love to help if you need some help. All right, you guys take care. God bless, and have a good night.